For this last section on editing in iMovie, we're going to drag and drop a GIF that I created previously into our iMovie. In another class, we're going to go over creating this simple GIF. You do not need to do this as part of your project. I like to do it for consistency so that anytime anyone sees one of my YouTube movies, it has this same introduction. And I also have an outro that we're going to cover in that other class. But for now, I'm in iMovie. And I'm just going to resize the window because we looked at choosing the import button right up here when we pulled this video in, but I want to show you that you can drag and drop also. I'm going to resize the window. iMovie will only let me make it so small. And I have the little GIF that I want right here. Now I created this GIF with text and with music. I have a friend who is a musician who created the music for me, but in this other class on creating these intros and outros, I'll show you some places that you can go to find free music. So I'm going to just go ahead now and make sure that my project media is selected here. And then I'm just going to click and drag this into that section. And there it is. Now I can hit play on just this using my space bar, and I'm pausing, and I can scrub back so you can see this yellow line that moves back and forth both in this small window, and you don't have the yellow line over here, but you can see the same thing happening. So I'm going to go to the beginning. And that's it. That's the little intro that I created. Now that is here saved in my project media, but I want it down here in my timeline. So I'm going to click on it. The yellow line is around it. I know that it's selected, and I'm just going to drag it to the very beginning of the movie. I can put it anywhere on the movie that I want, but I want it here in the beginning. So now I have this little introduction, and I'm going to come close to the end of it and hit my space bar. And then it just kind of pops. One of the things that I've learned creating online, hitting the space bar again. So we might want to transition in here. So we're going to do that next. This is part of the editing. I'm in my project media. I have my media, audio, titles, backgrounds, and transitions. Right now we're going to look at transitions. And you can see there are several options. What kind of transition do you want? Let's look at something that's very obvious. So I'm going to select mosaic. The yellow box is there, and I'm going to drag that down here. And I can see when I hover my mouse over it, that is just 1 second long, that transition. So again, here's this, see the white bar moving across. This is kind of the, I think they call it the scrubber bar that you can use to select the spot in your movie that you want to be. I want to come here right to the end of my intro, and I'm going to press the space bar. One of the things, and then you see you get that little transition from one piece of media to the next, which just makes it a little bit cleaner. There are obviously lots of other things that we can do. We can put backgrounds in, we can put titles in. So this movie down here, I need to press recordings to this user to have fewer distractions. So that movie that I pulled in was the very first movie on creating a user. So I might want to have a title that introduces the viewer to what they're watching. So I'm going to click on titles and scroll through. There are many, many options here. I'm just going to use something very simple from the top. Click on it so that it's highlighted. I'm going to drag it down here. It's going to put it right here at the top of my movie clip. And now I can see that there's 4 seconds there in that little purple box. And I can put the title text in here. It's automatically highlighted. So if I start typing, I'm going to call create a user and hit enter. And now I'm going to come back here, and I can use this little hand to move the bar or I can just move back and forth. But the hand helps me to stop at one very specific spot. I'm going to hit play and we're going to see what happens here. One of the things that I've learned creating online lessons is it's best. So now I have that title. I can click on the title and I can drag it and I can make it go for, it's going to go for, let's say 26 seconds there. So when you hit play on the movie, one of the things that I've learned creating online lessons is it's best to break. That title is there for a significant amount of time. If it's too long, I'll just click on it, make it active, and drag it back and make it just a few seconds again. So those are some very basic functions of editing in iMovie. We're going to cover a little bit more in the 4th class when we upload a video to our YouTube channel after we've created that YouTube channel.